Andrew Mitchell.
Thank you, Sir Roger. I draw the House's attention to my interests and the fact that, along with the Honourable Lady from Bristol South, I am the co-chair of the all-party group on dignity in dying. Sir Roger, I speak today as a convert to the campaign for the legalisation of assisted dying. My own mind has been changed on this over the years, principally as a result of the number of constituents I've spoken to who have faced terrible suffering at the end of life, or who have witnessed their loved ones dying in painful and undignified circumstances. I want this change for my constituents, I'd want it for myself, and I want it for those whom I love. Last Friday, in the Royal Town, I met my constituent Lynn Ellis from Wild Green, whose husband died from prostate cancer. During COVID, he was told he had 3 to 6 months to live, and he died not very long after. And this is what Lynn told me, and I quote her: "Until you've been through something like this, you don't realise how hollow the argument is that there is a palliative answer. As John died, he shrank to nothing, he couldn't eat, he was in pain, suicidal. I felt we'd been cheated. What could be a better way to go than a glass of champagne and saying goodbye to each other? Those last few weeks of his life were incredibly painful. He shut down, he wouldn't speak, and we'd always had such a close and loving relationship. I feel the state let me down. A good and decent country would not have put us through this." Now, Sir Roger, we in the Commons have not been asked to vote on assisted dying for almost 7 years. A great deal has changed in that time. California, Colorado, New Jersey, Maine, and even the District of Columbia have legislated for choice at the end of life. Every state in Australia has passed laws on assisted dying in just the last 5 years. New Zealand, too, legislated on assisted dying following a referendum that received 66% support for the proposal. Other jurisdictions have gone further than the proposals that I support, including in Canada and Spain. Changes on the cards, too, in Italy, Portugal, and even Ireland. There are proposals under consideration in Scotland, Jersey, and the Isle of Man that could be voted on before the end of next year. Our hospice and end-of-life care in this country is superb, but nobody, not even the most ardent defenders of the palliative provisions in place, can claim that every person who dies in their care does so without pain, in peace, and with dignity. For those facing even the prospect of a traumatic death, knowing the option of choosing the moment and manner of their end would offer so much reassurance. Right now we know that some people with terminal illnesses feel they have no other option but to avoid than to take their own lives into their own hands. They do so privately and alone, so as not to incriminate their loved ones, often in violent and distressing ways. The Office of National Statistics published data in April demonstrating that those with severe health conditions are twice as likely to end their own lives as those without. Estimates would suggest that every week between 6 and 12 people with terminal illnesses choose to die in this way. We have evidence, Sir Roger, of the harm caused by our existing laws and growing evidence of the reforms we could adopt from overseas. New polling from YouGov shows that 3/4 of the British public support an inquiry into assisted dying, including 80% of Conservative voters, 77% of Labour voters, 80% of those who voted Remain, 79% of those who voted Leave. It is refreshing to find unity in our politics at the moment, and it is clear from every opinion poll on this subject that assisted dying is a unifying issue for people across the country. Sir Roger, I understand that the Health Select Committee, the Health and Social Select Committee, is considering conducting an inquiry into this subject, including looking at the experience overseas of countries ahead of us on this. I very much hope that they will, and that will inform the government's and the House's thinking. In closing, I would like to ask my honourable friend, the Minister, if he could, in his answer to this debate, first acknowledge the enormous changes that have taken place both internationally and within UK jurisdictions in the past couple of years. We cannot continue to let the suffering of dying people continue unanswered. It is time for dignity, time for compassion, and time for choice at the end of life.